Hey everybody, it's Matt from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to show you my Red U7 Son Goku deck. So this is the one from Realm of the Gods. So for those of you not sure what he does, it's permanent. You can't send cards from your drop area to your warp. You can't. Your opponent can still screw your drop if they want to. Ugh, Wrecky Bora. He's got auto, when it attacks you get to draw a card, and he's got activate main once per turn. When you burst 3, you draw 1, and then you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. And then his awakening is you allows it 4 or less, or there are 7 or more universe 7 cards in drop area. It's a 1/1, so you get 1 energy back and draw a card. And then we'll flip him over. He's got the same permanent on this side, but he's got activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, then you can choose up to 3 to mill. So you can go, I'll just mill 2 instead, or 1, but you can only go up to 3 still. And then he's got a once per game skill, a sparking 20, where you can choose any mono red universe 7 cards from your drop area and add it to your hand. So your super combos or any of your battle cards basically, and super combos are battle cards. So yeah, you get my point. So that's the leader. So Unison for the deck. I've actually gone with the Unisons that are for this deck. So we've got the 4 Shenron and 4 of the Frieza 17 combo. So Shenron, you do want to see start off with. Is in power red 6. You're never going to do it. Because ideally you want to be playing this and then going into this and then just sitting on your 2-cost Unison. This is just more to help to get this in power off, so you get its auto when it comes into play a bit easier. But also the fact that it's +1, if you've got 4 or less cards in your hand you get to draw a card. So if you're going to be losing card advantage early game, you can just be like, okay, well I'll try and get myself back up a little bit, so that's always fine. And then he's got -7 activate main. If your leader card is a universe and it's special trade, draw 1 card, then place the top card of your deck in your life. You're never going to do it. If you do it, fair play, but you shouldn't be getting to that stage. And then we got the 17 and 18, 17 and 18? 17 and Frieza. This has got Empower Red too, so that's why I was like, play this and then make sure it's got 2 markers on it, or just 2+ markers. Empower, this comes out with 4 markers on it because it costs 2. Auto burst 1, if you do 4 more markers on this card when it's played, you get to draw a card. So the bursting will help because it gets your job filled up quicker, to get your awakening quicker, get your sparking 20 quicker, which is always great, and it's another draw. And then auto once per turn, if it's your turn, when a card is placed in your drop area from your deck, add a mark to this card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards against -15. So his second auto will get triggered by his first auto, and then the second auto will get triggered every time you use the leader's effect to nil. So you always got that choice to remove a battle card if it hasn't got barrier, of course. And it's got activate main for a -4. He gains 5k and triple attack, so it's a 20k triple attack for that turn, which is great. So on to the extra cards then. Alright, so start off with the negates. We've got 3 of the Final Guardian. So this is the drop negate one. So when it's in your drop, you pay the cost, but you've got to warp a card and it.
It's warp.
Is it warp them? Or is it you get you just remove them from the game? Okay, so yeah. When it's in drop, you just pay 1, get this and card from your hand, and remove them from the game. But then this has also got you negate the attack and then choose up to 1 of your battle cards and it gets 5k power. Always forget about that one. And it's a drop negate. You're milling a lot. So if you're getting a drop, it's not going to hurt. And then we got 2 of the sparking negates, the Atom's technique. So you got 5 or more in the drop. You can activate this by just taking a life. It doesn't actually negate the attack, but it effectively, in a sense, does, because you choose up to one of your cards, and it gets plus 40k power, and you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, it gets minus 10k. So, yeah. Unless your opponent's really going to combo up. Nah. Then we've got the negate that was actually for the deck. The Universe 7 Unified. So it's a counter attack. You burst one, negate the attack, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and gets minus 5k power. Permanent, if your leader card is minor red Universe 7, and you can activate this card's activate battle skill from your hand without paying the energy cost. To activate battle is limit 1, burst 1, choose up to one of your leader cards or Unison cards and gets 10k power, which is always nice. And then we got King Vegito's Imposing Presence. We're a red Saiyan deck. Why not? So this is also another negate that doesn't negate. All it does is if your leader card is minor red Saiyan card and you choose the attacking card, ignoring barrier, it gets minus 10k power for a turn. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards. Can't attack with cards, sorry. For a turn unless the attacking card gets minus 5k for the turn each time. You can't activate copies of this card from your hand for the turn, so you can only activate one of these, so you can't stack the effect. And then it's got permanent. If your life is 3 or less, you can discard a card from your hand instead of paying the energy cost to play it. And then the last of the extra cards, which has got Realm of the Gods, Ultra Instinct. I'm going to read the non-blingy one to save my eyes. So, activate battle. If your leader card and all your energy are red, choose up to one of your cards and it gets 10k power for the battle. Then you choose one. If it's your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. Energy cost greater than the current energy. It gets minus 30k power for a turn. If it's your opponent's turn, you draw a card, choose up to one of your cards and it gets 5k for the battle. So, that's that. And onto the battle cards then. So for the 1 costs, we just have 4 copies of the 17 and 2 Broly Crown of Retribution. The 17 is when it's played from hand, you get to draw a card, but then he's got an auto of limit 1, burst 1. If you mill him, you play him and then you mill 1. But you don't draw because it's when it's played from hand. The Broly. So if your leader card is red, which we are, when you play this card from your hand, if your opponent has 2 or more energy in active mode, your opponent reveals their hand, and you choose up to 1 battle card with 20k power or less and place it in the owner's drop area. And that's it for those. So the 2 costs, we have the super combo for the deck, which is Freezer. I'm not sure why you would use any other one, to be honest with you, because this meets all the requirements that you need for the deck. So just use Freezer. It's a Sparking 5-1, which is easy done in a deck. It's Universe 7. Yeah. And then Vegito, Royal Evolution. So the reason I put this in here is it's a red Universe 7 for 1. And it's got 2 effects to take advantage of. Its first one, auto pay 1 red. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and it's your turn, at the end of the battle, which this card was used in a combo from your hand, switch up to one of your mono red leader cards to active mode and it gets plus 5k power and its keyword skills negated for a turn. You can activate non-keyword leader card skills or skills on copies of this card for a turn. So you get 2 attacks out of your leader. And the second one is stronger, which is always good. And negating this card's skills isn't a problem because it's like, well, you just play around it, don't you? You just use the skills before you use the Vegito. And it's got activate battle, pay 1 red. If your leader card is mono red and you discard this card from your hand, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, it gets minus 10k power for the battle. So can always help on the defense there as well. Make it harder for your opponent to kill you. So onto the 3 costs then. So to start off with, we've got 3 copies of Super Saiyan Vegeta Blast Barrage. So as a counter attack, you negate the attack and you play this card. Permanent, if you've got 4 or more extra cards in your drop area, and it's your opponent's turn, reducing energy cost of this card in your hand by 2, so it can be a 1 cost. Getting the extra cards in drop isn't too difficult because you're going to be playing them and milling them, so why not? And he's got auto if it's your opponent's turn. When you play this card, choose to one of your opponent's battle cards and gets -5k power for duration of a turn, which is great. So you can choose any battle card you want. Next choice went with the Burst Attack Son Gohan. So he's critical, and when his card attacks, you've got 4 less cards in your hand, you get to draw 2 cards. It's actually a really old card. It got a reprint in one of the anniversaries, I can't remember which one. Yeah, it's nice draw power if your hand's ever low enough. And you got 3 copies of Son Goku, Sign of Mastery. So this is counterplay limit 1. Play this card. Permanent Sparking 7. If your leader card is mono red Son Goku card, reduce the energy cost in this card in your hand by 2, so it can be a 1 cost. And then auto, if your leader card is Universe 7 card, when this card is played, chisel to one of your opponent's battle cards against -15k power for a turn. Additionally, if this skill reduces a chosen card's power to 0 or less, you get to draw a card. So, if it kills a card. And then to top it off, we've got 2 17. I would like more copies of 17, so if we pull more, then some of these probably wouldn't be using the burst attacks if we have more 17s. And same with the Goku. Probably stick with the Vegito just because of the amount of extra cards. But yeah, anyway, the 17 is Double Strike, Sparking 7, auto. When this card attacks, you look at 3 cards on top of your deck, add up to 1 mono red Universe 7 card from under into your hand, and then put the rest of the bottom deck in any order. Activate main, limit 1, pay 1 red. If your leader card is a red Universe 7 card and 5 or more Universe 7 cards in your drop area, play this card from your hand. So it's a 1 cost 15 double, which is horrible. Which also searches. Which is always good. Onto the forecast. So we got 4 copies of Frieza, 4 copies of Vegeta, and then 2 copies of this promo Frieza. So to start off with them, with the Golden Frieza. It's got Dual Attack, Sparking 7, Auto. When this card is played, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards that gets -15k power for a turn. And then he's got Activate Main, Limit 1 by paying 1 red. If your leader card is Universe 7 Son Goku card, and there are 5 or more Universe 7 cards in your drop area, you get to play this card from your hand. So, same as the 17, it's just a 1 cost body. The Vegeta works quite differently because he costs 2, and you have to be at Sparking 10 instead. So it's Activate Main, Sparking 10, pay 2. If your leader card is Mono Red Universe 7, play this card from your hand. But this can just be used in any deck for the cheaper cost, whereas the other ones are restrictive to having the Universe 7s. Unless, of course, your deck is just using loads of Universe 7s. You've got Deflect and Crit, and then Auto, when this card is played, you get to draw a card, then choose up 2 of your opponent's battle cards that ignore Barry, and you get -15. Honestly, you shouldn't have this card at any lower than 4 on your deck. It is too good. A 20k body with a crit, deflect, and gets rid of 2. Like, what more could you ask for in that kind of cheap cost? And then the last of the 4 costs is Frieza, Fair Weather Fiend. Found this one when I was just looking up Universe 7 cards, and I was like, wait, it does what? So I'll explain now. So it's got Double Strike, Unique, Auto, pay 2 red. If your leader card is red, and you have a red Unison card with specified cost of 2 in play, at the end of the battle, which you can combo with this card from your hand, you get to play it. And then Auto, once per turn, when your opponent activates a counter skill, choose up to one of their battle cards, ignoring Barney gets -30k power per turn. The card's fantastic. And there's your Unison. You got the Frieza and 17. Because you can't use, well, you can still use Piccolo Jr., but he's a 1, so this deck doesn't have it anyway. So that's my 2 cost 1 for this deck. But I think this came in one of those extra set type things that's got a deck box attached to it.
Yeah, when they introduced Unisons, they did a U7 and a U11, where the U7 was red and the U11 stuff was yellow, and it had a Unison and like other little bits.
Ah, so that's where that was from.
Yeah,
it's from that one.
Not that anyone really uses that stuff.
Until now.
Yeah, until now.
If you haven't already started using that freezer, do so, guys. It's a fantastic card. Then we got Vegito. So this is the reprinted one. Let's go with the OG one. No, anyway, so it's 5 cost, can't play, permanent. If your leader card is red, reduce the energy cost is with this card in your hand by 2, so it's a 3 cost instead of a 5 cost. Auto, when you play this card, choose all your opponent's battle cards and you get minus 20k power for the duration of turn. And if it's your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your leader cards and it gets 5k for a turn. So you get to hurt your opponent and defend yourself, all off one card. It's great. And then the last card of the deck is the 3 copies of the Son Goku Ultra Mastery. I'm going to read the non-blingy version, just make things easier. So he's got Deflect, Double Strike and Dual Attack. Auto, once per turn, sparking 20. When this card attacks, your opponent reveals a hand. You choose up to 1 card with an energy cost of 7 or less and discard it. Then you've got Activate Main, pay 4 red. If you're a turn or more unit with 7 cards in your drop area, play this card from your hand, choose all your opponent's battle cards and get minus 30k power for a turn, and you can't play non-red battle cards. Play non-red battle cards, yeah. The only battle cards you can play are red, because you can't play non-ones. Not that you are playing any others in this anyway. Well, this version. Cool, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next time. And leave any thoughts if you have in the comments below. And bye bye.